I'm Paul Penrose from Finextra, reporting from the SWIFT European Operations Forum in Berlin. I'm here with James Line, Head of Global Security Research at Sophos. James, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
James, you spend your time hacking into business to expose loopholes in security. What are the most common failings?
Well, there are lots of different ways that we commonly manage to break into businesses, but at the moment, some of the most successful techniques really center around human hacking, duping people inside businesses to clicking on attachments that they really shouldn't, pretending to send them a resume, an invoice, a payment remittance, and in some cases using borrowed authority, so pretending to be a notice of criminal prosecution from the police. Anything like that tends to snare a click, and then we just attach a simple bit of malicious code that gives us backdoor control over the computer. From there, most people's networks are like a Rolo. The chocolate that's hard on the outside, soft and gooey on the inside. All it takes is one.
So, is social engineering the weakest link?
Undoubtedly, a largest part of the attacks we conduct at the moment, social engineering is one of the most successful techniques. There are other approaches, such as hacking in through printers or more kind of non-traditional computing devices, but social engineering is the biggest attack vector.
During your speech this morning, you referred to a successful exploit using LinkedIn on a bank in New York. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, that was a really interesting scenario and demonstrates the dangers of social media. You see, in the physical world, we all have these ideas about how we trust. When we meet people we don't know, we have certain hesitations and checks and balances that evolved over tens of thousands of years for us to live in communities. But none of that's been ported to the digital world. So all we did, we created a profile. This particular profile happened to be for an attractive woman. This profile was then used to connect with a series of individuals at the target institution. Some people will willingly connect to anyone, frankly. We've executed the same attack using a target picture of a frog historically. Anyway, once we've got a number of those connections, we then change the job title and the history of that account to look like someone working one of the lower level functions inside the IT department. From there, we're able to connect with a load more people who assume that we must hold that role and be that person because we're already connected to people working at the business. In less than half a day, you have a full profile that really looks like a member of that company, at which point we're able to single someone out, send them an in-mail, attach our nasty payload, and we're able to take over all their systems.
What's the most important advice you would give to businesses to help them shore up their defences?
Well, I think there are so many things that I could list as important in cybersecurity today. There are so many attack vectors, so many devices. I think the biggest problem, though, is people assume that cybercriminals attack using these uber unstoppable exploits and viruses, and that there's nothing you can do about it, super technical stuff. When in reality, it's often basic operational failures or human mistakes that lead to the initial ingress. So if we could get everyone listening to this to make sure they're sharing the latest best practices, the things to watch out for, with their friends, their family, their colleagues, we'd actually thwart a great number of the cybercriminal tactics out there. Secure passwords, keeping your computer up to date, and being a little bit suspicious in the digital world, just like you'd be in the physical, would make a huge difference.
James, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching.